Greetings, Masandawana. We're back again with yet another installment of the Yellow Corner. And this time we bring you our Dstv Premier Soccer League Game Week 4 match as we travel to Gqeberha to take on the Chile boys, Chippa United, on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Rabs, how are you? Hey, I'm okay, man, but I'm worried already. At the rate things are going, these matches are coming quick and fast, and later on we might just suffer the hamstring or lose our voices because the matches there, eh?
Yeah, no, but it's part of our lives. So yeah, we will take one game at a time.
What's what if you've had a lot to drink the previous day? You need to find a way your own so yeah, you start drinking again and then that headache will go away. Yeah, perhaps we played against Golden Arrows the other day and we won convincingly. Your thoughts on that match and the result?
I think we've been playing good. Unfortunately, in the 3 previous games, we couldn't score more than 2 goals. Just that in the Arrows game, we managed to get the goals and our conversion rate was better than when we played Chiefs, when we played Swallow. So I think when we played Arrows, we were more clinical and we were more lethal when we had those opportunities. But it was a great game. We scored 3 goals before the interval, and second half, even though we made key substitutions and we brought on the other guys, the performance went down a little bit, but at least we managed to score the 4-1 and we managed to manage the game better. So I think it was a great performance and great results from the guys.
Yeah, no, I think so as well, man. I think we played really well, more so the first half, and obviously when you make the substitutions in the second half, you lose that fluidity. But the guys really played well, to be honest. Even the guys that came on second half, they were not poor or anything. Just that the fluidity will obviously not be there. One sponsor, a lot of players, and yeah, Shika was dancing, man, on Tuesday, man. But yeah, that's all in the past. We're moving forward now to what is now dubbed the main event. Chippa United says he's played the welterweight, the lightweight, now the main event, the heavyweight. He's basically saying, the boxing matches now. They'll say the fight will start at 2 a.m. in South Africa, only for it to start at 6 or 7 a.m. And between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., before the main event, get these boxers, these unknown boxers that will fight. And yeah, that's what Chippa is saying. He's saying the main event is starting, it's on Saturday.
Today's draw for us is like a win. But of course, it's a starter for Saturday. The main event is on Saturday. So we want all the supporters of football in Eastern Cape to come in big numbers. We want to fill the stadium. There's no bigger team yet.
Yeah, let's talk about that game, our game before fixture. Like I said, as we travel to Gqeberha, man. Before we delve into the match, I want us to talk about Morgan Mamila Anyane. Do you think he will make it to the end of the season?
Based on their history, Chippa United, it will be difficult for him to finish the season at Chippa, even to make it to the second round. I think he needs to be convincing in terms of getting results and winning games, because of if Chippa doesn't see results in the second game block, there are chances that he might be gone. So I think only results will only positive results will keep him at Chippa United. If failing to get those positive results, then he'll be shown the door. So I think his only way of being cheaper for until the season ends, he needs to win games and he needs to finish in a good position, because of Chippa has been finishing in position 14 and 15 for a long time. The last time they had a good season and they finished inside the top 8, it was in 2015 and 2016 season. That was the last time they were in the top 8 and they finished position number 6 with 42 points. Since then, they've been finishing around 14, 15, then they finish around number 12 or 11. So I think he needs to get positive results, and they need to be a team that doesn't worry about are we going to survive the relegation zone this time? So only positive results will keep him more cheap.
Yeah, no. It's a pity we recording a few hours before Cox interviews him on his space on Twitter this evening. It would have been nice to record after we've had him, but yeah, we can't. It will be at night, and we need to drop this preview, man. I honestly don't think Corey will make it through until the end of the season. Chippa is trigger happy, man. Once things go sideways, he doesn't waste time. He doesn't care who you are. He might have 2 stints in one season at Chippa. So Chippa might fire him now and then second round So I do not think he will stay until the end of the season. What are your general thoughts on him? Because I think he's a very confident guy, at times bordering on overconfidence. If you listen to him, you sure he's someone who's there in the category of Gqeberha, Opito Mzima, Ted Dumitro, Godin Engasid. What are your general thoughts on Bramogen?
I think being the head coach, I think it excites him. I think it is that position that it looks like he wanted from when he was young. So now he's offered the position. So he's excited that he got what he wanted. But one thing that it is positive about him is that his approach, he always speaks about being positive and going pound to pound. And sometimes you might find that funny, but in other times it will rub off to the players. If the coach is confident and believe in the players, the players, they start to believe in themselves, because sometimes the players, they go into a fixture knowing that for us to get positive results, it's impossible. But having a coach that believes in the players, that they can come out with a good result in a certain game, the players, they start believing, and the players start doing well, and they start fighting for the coach because of the coach believes in them. So I think in that aspect, I think Morgan has that under control. But also, we need to be realistic. We need not to be thinking that everything it seems the way Bonanka thing. We need to be realistic, because of there's a premiership, there are good teams, there are tough teams, and not everything he says it will go his way. And I think his point of saying we are equal with everyone, I think people, I don't know whether people, they misinterpret it or not. I think what he's trying to say is the opposition have 11 players, I have 11 players. There's only one ball inside the pitch. We are fighting for the same result. So in that aspect of the game, that means we are equal, because of this 11 v 11. So I shouldn't be scared of the other 11, because of I have my own 11 players. So I think that's what he's trying to say. But then I think he's saying that in a wrong manner. So that's why the people white born or not. So I think Ghana is trying to say it's V11 at the end of the day, and we are equal, and whatever the opposition are fighting for, we are fighting for that. So I think that's what he's trying to say. We are equal.
Yeah, no, I didn't know you studied public relations. You're doing a very great PR job. Oh, well, Abraham again. Hey, I think if he watches this, he might just offer you a job. Hey, and I think you might be right, but I think his comments about being equal, he's basically saying, no, we are on par, we are on the same level in terms of quality. So the quality that they have at Klokop, I also have at Gqeberha. The quality that they have at Kanabale, but training like Vets, but Rand Stadium, yeah, wherever they train Bali, I also have. But yeah, at the end of the match, these were his words. He said, no parking of the bus. I don't care who you are. We are equal here when asked about our game there. But I think some things are easier said than done. We'll see on Saturday. Perhaps let's talk about a man who's seemingly found a new lease of life, a man who's performing well, a man who now has 2 men of the match awards in 3 games, and those men of the match awards came against the 2 Soweto teams in Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. I'm talking about Goodman Musele. What have you made of his start or his move to Chippa? Because I think for now, some people are good at being the protagonist, and then they struggle when they have to be supporting a cast. So I think Goodman knows I'm the man here at Chippa, the same way as he was the man at Baroque, and hence he's performing so well. And some people really struggle. They can be really talented, but struggle with the pressure that comes with playing for a big team. And we know how big Pirates is. I mean, they call it the institution after all. And it seems like he's someone who has some personal issues. Having watched that documentary, Pirates, at the end of the season, or they shot it beginning of last season. I just can't remember them. Sounds like he's someone who was going through a lot, and then maybe the pressure of Pirates on top of what he's already going through. He struggled with it, but he seemingly found a new lease of life. He's performing really well at Chippa.
Yeah, no, I think it looks like he's at a good environment, and it looks like he found himself back. Is that Musele that we know of? Baroque. I think even in Orlando Pirates, it wasn't that bad. I think the pressure that comes with that team and the expectations, and also the fans as well, they want to win. So if you come from Baroque and your personality can't handle that, it becomes difficult for you to perform. And also you are fighting other battles outside the pitch. That means it becomes very, very difficult for him. But even if opponent or support a different team, I feel sorry for certain players to ba fetang tonte jwale. You don't want players ba fetang tonte jwale. Yes, inside the pitch you might be rivals, but off the field we need to show both. So I think I'm happy for him, and I'm happy he's at a team that there's less pressure, and he's able to express himself. And I hope whatever he's fighting off the pitch, he will get help as soon as possible, because of we don't want other things to happen, or we want to prevent certain things from happening. But I'm happy for him, and getting 2 men of the match against Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, I think it will give him confidence, and I think he will start regaining his basically his performance that we normally have known from Baroque and also more Pirates.
I know, man. We really hope for no, man. Whatever issues he was struggling with, then he's winning, man. Like you said, 90 minutes, we don't want him to perform, but off the field, you really wouldn't want to hear someone is struggling right into, so yeah, all the best to Goodman. Hopefully he has a really good season, man. Hey, your thoughts on their start? They are currently eighth on the log. They've played 3 games. They've won 0. They've drawn 3. They've lost 0. They've scored 1 goal, conceding 1 as well. Goal difference, 0. They're on 3 points, and their PPG is 1. I think they've had a good start to the season, but it could be great. Because I think a draw away at Chiefs and a draw at home to Pirates, 2 great points, 2 points. But at the same time, when you play at home against teams that are TS Galaxy, who are maybe at the same level as you should be winning those games, so that come the end of the season, you're not fighting relegation. So I think they've had a good start, considering their first 5 games. I mean, playing Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns in your first 5 games, it can never be easy, So they've had a good start, but it could have been great had they beaten or TS Galaxy. Your thoughts?
I don't think I have to agree with you in terms of the teams that are on your level. You should get maximum points. And you watched that game they played against TS Galaxy. I think TS Galaxy dominated them. I think TS Galaxy are the ones that deserved 3 points. But against Kaizer Chiefs, I think they had a great start into the league, and also the good signing. They looked very decent. And also against Orlando Pirates, they also played well, and also they I think at one point against Chiefs and Pirates is not a bad result for them, but against a team like again a team like TS Galaxy, that's why you should collect maximum points. And also it looks like so far they've played a lot of games home. And they played against TS Galaxy, Orlando Pirates, and also their game against Sundowns will be at home. So at some stage you need to collect 3 points at home, because of that means once you go away, you'll play more games away, so that your home and away games becomes equal. So I think on the road they will struggle if they don't pick up 3 points. Hence, but have opportunity to have games on home back to back.
True, true. And let's talk about what we can expect from them. I think they will look to start the same way they ended Game Bonam against Pirates. I think they played really well in the second half. In the first half, they were not brave. I think in the second half, they were really brave. I mean, their press in the first half was not coordinated. Mulenga was playing as a focal point of attack, and he would press alone. Hard hitter, there's no one behind him. And it was easy for Pirates to play around him and bypass that press. But in the second half, they changed. Their press became well coordinated. They pressed in numbers. So I think they showed a lot of bravery. They took the game to Pirates in the second half. So I think that would be motivation for them to start the game the way they ended it. And we spoke about Goodman, who's really been performing well. I think he's the heart and soul of that team. I think everything goes through Goodman. Something that Goodman does. If there's one thing that, remember when we spoke about, funny enough, Roscoe Peterson last season, when I said I know exactly what there were games where they played in the middle field, and I said I know exactly what Roscoe does, because I used to do it when I played against guys that I knew were better than me, hiding more middle fielding, using the opponents to hide. Goodman doesn't do that. Goodman looks for the ball. He seeks the ball. He's so smart that he can get in between 4 players, two strikers and then 2 midfielders, be inside box here, but still ask for the ball. And he's good at progressing the ball. He's good at playing long passes. So I think he's the one player that we need to keep an eye on. Surprisingly, I've been really surprised by Gqeberha, someone who was whom a lot of people expected he'd reach very, very high, great heights, but things haven't gone that way, But I'm glad to see him playing a lot this season, because I thought his career was going nowhere, but he started this season so well. And he's a defender. He's possession defense, but they've moved him to middle field, and he's playing really well more middle field. He supports a good man. And when a defender moves to midfield, sometimes that's have a ball, but no, he's always looking for the ball. So that double pivot, Yabona, it's a really, really strong. I think that's where they are at their strongest team really, and so they really good players who combine really well, who assist with each other, and they help the defense because like I said, Kongobe used to play as a defender, so he can read the game and help the what do you call this, the defense. And second half, game Pirates, it was clear that Morgan wanted to exploit spaces, more Pirates that they use, that the fullback Stabona going forward. When he brought on Martin, and then he moved Mulenga to the left, and then Martin was a right winger. And so they play a simple formation, a 4-4-1-1. And yeah, it's easy, man, to plan against them, but they can hit you most of the pace here. Martin le Mulenga, but the fact that they don't score a lot of goals might be to our advantage. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think they would also want to start how they ended against Orlando Pirates. And I think even when they played us in Loftus Versfeld, I think it was the second round of the league, I think they were positive, even though they lost 1-2-1. I think they were positive, and it looks like a team that wanted to play. They didn't want to sit back, as they were able to score a goal, and they created a couple of chances. I'll never forget that double save from Alande in the line, where he saved those two shots. So I think it shows that if they want to attack, they can attack. So I think that's what Morgan will want to see in this game. But it will be very important for his defense to remain very disciplined at the back. I think if the defense is disciplined and there's communication and they don't get drawn out of the position very easily, I think they will be able to contain a Sundowns for a certain period, but it will be difficult because it requires a high level of concentration and communication from the first whistle until the first whistle. You spoke about Musele and Gqeberha. I think the previous games they've done well, but in this game, there's a possibility they won't have much position they had against the previous teams because of Sundowns who want to dominate. So I think in this game they will spend more time shutting down spaces and trying to close Mamelodi Sundowns. That means they have to do well in that department. With the help of Lutuli, who can play as a 10 sometimes. So that means he will be forced sometimes to drop a little bit closer to Gqeberha and Musele to offer help. And speaking about Musele, I think having Gqeberha, sometimes it gives him an allowance to advance a little bit forward because of that Gqeberha is behind him. As that equalizer managed to get a more adventurous and get inside the box. So against Sanders, you want to do that, but you will obviously have moments at when to and not when to, because of you don't want to lose ball in that position. Your central midfielder is absent in that middle of the park. And in this game, they won't create many chances they created in the previous games. And you look at the last three games of Mamelodi Sundowns, we already spoke about we need to minimize the chances that the oppositions create. And you look at the game against Chiefs, Swallows, and Arrows, the opposition, they struggle to create chances. So I think Chippa United maybe getting some shot outside the box, maybe their best chances might come from that shooting outside the box, but you need to have someone with a good accuracy. And I think Molenga, he can pick a good shot, and also they might get something out of that. You spoke about the speedy wingers, which is Bobo, Greg Martin. I think Thabiso Lebitso will usually start. And in this game, he plays on the right. That means there are chances that he'll be up against AB, who's much slower. So I think Thabiso Lebitso with his pace, he needs to be more direct when he has the ball. But the only thing that lets him down, it is the decision making when he gets to the final third. I think his decision is very, very poor. And I can guarantee you get a 1v1 or he will be there in the final third, but I can bet he will do a very, very poor decision because of his decision making is totally poor. But I believe in this game, maybe things might work out his way.
Let's talk about the heavyweight champions. The Managamang, Australian and Tattoo heavyweight boxing.
Mike Tyson.
Let's talk about the Mike Tyson Premier Soccer League, Mamelodi Sundowns. What do you expect from them?
I think we need to maintain we need to try and maintain the same standard that we showed against Golden Arrows. Be positive, create chances, and mostly be clinical in front of goals. I've watched Chippa United, and I've seen that Justice Chabalala plays on the left side of the defense and is not comfortable on the ball. So I think in this game we should be able to set up pressing traps pressing traps around him. But when we have the ball, I think we should target Roscoe Peterson, who gets thrown out of his position very easily. You look at that goal Orlando Pirates scored. Mofokeng, the young boy, he plays as a left winger. He cuts inside. Roscoe Peterson commits himself and he gets out of his position. Mofokeng continues going inside with the ball. He ends up being on the right and crossing the ball to Shandu inside the box. And when you pause it there, you look at Roscoe Peterson where he was and where Justice Shabala was. I think Roscoe, if he stayed on his position, I think they will defend that match. If you watch NBA or basketball in general, sometimes when a teammate has the ball, they need to know how to exchange. The marker needs to exchange with the other one. You can't run let someone from the right until the left side. Sometimes you need to let him go so that other player can handle him and you go back to your position to defend. So I think if Roscoe has done that, I think they will have dealt better in that position. Speaking about midfielders as well, I think Gautier, I think in this game, I think him starting, it gives Tebza a room to go a little bit forward. Hence, against Golden Arrows, he was always sometimes he found himself around the D-line, and there was a point where he managed to even get a shot at goal, but Ela Shapa Paulo. So I think if Tebza can still know when to be around the offensive players, he can cause some threat. And we are playing at Nelson Mandela Bay. The pitch is wide, and obviously that means that we will be able to utilize our width in terms of maybe Nku or Mayema if they continue starting, and it also give us an ability to be able to stretch them, because of if the pitch is wide, that means we can stretch them and create those spaces in the middle field. The last season when we played Chippa, there are 2 goals that we scored from a set piece. The late winner at Nelson Mandela Bay, we scored from a corner, and when we played them at Loftus, we scored from a free kick. I think Mudiba crossed it for Tebza, and Tebza he scored with a header. And against Golden Arrows, we scored 2 goals from a set pieces. I think in this game, if they are not Chippa can't defend set pieces, I believe we can get something, because of in the last 2 games where we faced Chippa, we managed to score from set pieces, and also as well against Golden Arrows, we scored 2 goals from set pieces.
Oh, yeah, I know you've said a mouthful, and I can't add much more. You spoke about basketball, and you reminded me of that other day where you almost missed the bus to school. because there was a basketball match that we were watching and then it went to overtime maybe 10 years ago.
I think it was Miami Heat and San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, man. But yeah, you've said a lot, Raps. I'll just add 2-3 points, man. I think it would be very important that we score in the first half and we score first. They mustn't score first because I've realized already that goalkeeper Yabona and Nwabali, he loves wasting time and killing momentum. Yeah, the opponent. So imagine if they score first. Hey man, he's gonna make it. He's gonna drag the game, and you'd wish it was the EPL where they could add 10 or 15 minutes. Man. But so I think scoring early will be very important. Then I think I would love to see Nku going at this boy in Tsabone. He lunges a lot in Fanole. He doesn't stay on his feet at times when he needs to. So I'd love to see Nku trying to go at him, challenging him, and then looking to cross or Akate inside. You mentioned how I think another thing that I've observed about this team is that they are very sloppy at both ends. They can get into great positions, but their decision making at the last minute, it's awful. So you'd hope if they attack us in numbers, maybe on a break, and then we win the ball, counter pressing should be proper, like advance to their to our final third, which is their goals really quickly. And then there's the sloppiness. Shabalala is very sloppy, man. I think he's someone that we should target because he can try your pass. I've seen him try to beat into the first phase. Press ne. I'll ball into the middle and then he plays it straight to the central midfielders. So hopefully we can work on that. Rabs, I am done trying to dissect the formation, the system that Rulani Mogoena plays. This thing Rulani plays, it requires but one the PhD, and then now I'm just Tabiso Aizomuko, who was coached by Kuze. May his soul continue to rest in peace. I don't understand. So when you talk about formation for set up your Sundowns, I'm just gonna name the lineup. I won't talk about what setup we're going to play because Sundowns are not with that high. Yeah, no quality football, but it's really confusing to us on the like. There are a lot of things that we're not picking up, as yet. But yeah, as time goes on, maybe we'll pick them up. I think I'll go with Williams, Kekana Mvala, AB, Otsie Mukwena, Alende, Unkuri Biero, Zwane, Mayema. Wena?
Yeah, no, I think I'll go for that 11 because of I doubt that Shalulile will start.
Yeah.
I think the right guy for him, or I think it will be Gqeberha.
Scoreline?
I think we'll win 2-1.
I'm actually also going for 2-1. Who's scoring for you?
Gqeberha will score, and I think Granto Mvala will score in this game.
I'm going for Ribeiro and Zwane. Perhaps we're almost out of time. I just wanted to quickly touch on something. Before we started shooting, I saw Pirates post on Twitter their game against Boroga Swallows has been postponed. So there's a possibility that by the time they play their next game, we would have played 2 more games. If we win those 2 games, will be 11 points ahead of them. What do you think that would do to them if we play those games? Because I think if we play and win our next 2 games and we're 11 points ahead, they already it proper disheartens you. It's difficult to motivate yourself or no. We will make up those points. Yes, you have 2 games in hand, but the monster that you're trying to take the championship away from, Sundowns, it's not just any other team. So I really think it's really important to win the next 2 games just for that aspect. we are 5 games into the season. We're already leading Pirates, whom I think will be our main challengers by 11 points. Your thoughts quickly?
Yeah, no, I think we need to stretch the gap as soon as possible. I spoke about Mamila being, he should be realistic. I think the Orlando Pirates fans, they should start being realistic. I think their hopes are too high, man. For a team that hasn't won a league for a while and they want a miracle to happen, I think they should relax, man. And them getting their hopes high puts a lot of pressure into the team. So they should let the team play. Yes, they can criticize and want positive result, but man, it's been 6 years. We've been in this road. We know the corners. We know the double up. We know everything. So I think we need to stretch that gap. And right now, at this moment, it's only 5 points gap, and already they are panicking. Already they are saying this coach is not right for us to win the league. So imagine if we stretch the gap even more. So I think they should wake up and start being realistic, like I said about Morgan. Or sometimes he needs to be realistic.
In the words of Obi, I wish I need to find that clip here high. Or yeah, this thing is not for everyone. It be on Twitter. So yeah. Thanks for watching Masandawana. Please continue engaging us and subscribing and spreading the word. The yellow corner, man. We really appreciate the support, man. Out of time. I wanted us to talk about the MTN 8 draw, but yeah, we're out of time. Next time you see us will be sometime next week. If our game, what do you call this? Richards Bay is midweek. Maybe they will move it to weekend. I don't know, because I don't think we're playing that other weekend at 26. Until then, Masandawana, sharp, Umbulish.
Thank you, Masandawana. Sharp, Aizu.